them come back and live right next to you. They can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man, given chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the common council president and the common council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
No, that one. Yeah. That's a she looked at me like, what is he doing? So I always salute my LinkedIn audience before I start and when I finish. So she saw me sitting like, ooh. Yeah, I know sometimes I look strange and look weird. Hey, you're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I'm excited. I am wound up because I am so, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it appropriate as a Christian man at my age to say the word pissed off? Look, why's this? I heard Tori Lowe say it, and I heard Sherman Hughes say it, so I could say it. Okay. Like I've gone through this affirmative action thing, and so that's what our show's going to be about. I want to know your thoughts on the affirmative action decision made by the United States Supreme Court. What I don't want to hear is all of your complaining and whining about conservative versus liberal and Trump and the conservative court and all that. I'm talking about affirmative action, and I want to narrow it down to explain to you what it is. And then in my top 5 and 5, I'm going to give you my 5 reasons why I think this passed. Is that fair? But I think it's important that we have the discussion about affirmative action and what it really is and what we've assumed that it is. Now, let me first just say this. Our community, sometimes, some people in our community assume they know what something is, assume why something passed, when in fact, it's not accurate. People are reporting that the U.S. Supreme Court banned race-based admissions. And they did, but there's a qualifier on it. And people need to hear that and understand that so they can understand the big picture and figure out a way that we can do things to mitigate it. Because there are ways around it. Now, I'm not a legal scholar. I'm not a lawyer. Never trained one, never played one on TV or the radio. But I've read enough case law. And based on the logic of the Supreme Court, personally, I understand why they made the decision. I'm just not in agreement that they made the decision. Does that make sense? And we'll talk about that. So before we go off half-cocked, screaming and hollering about, oh my God, it's terrible, let's go through it. So I have the decision. I didn't download the 223 pages of, but I did download the certiorari. So I'm not even getting to the legal part. Basically, I got the syllabus, the part that explains what happened, why it happened, what they use for criteria, and the opinion that was written by and supported by Chief Justice John Roberts, and on and on and on. They did put in a dissenting opinion by Sotomayor, and Kagan joined, and Jackson joined. Jackson did not vote. She sat on the board of governors for Harvard University. So being the professional and legal scholar that she is, she knows that she has undue influence and information, not to mention she's biased because she sat on the board. So she recused herself. Smart move. That is what jurists do. If it was for, I don't know where, I think John Roberts went to Yale. If it was Yale, John Roberts or anybody on that court that went to Yale would recuse themselves, and then they would only vote on parts or whatever it is. We would expect them to recuse themselves, step back, and then let the others vote. Now, if that meant that gave a majority vote to the minority on the court, so be it. That is how jurisprudence works. That is how the law works. And let me rephrase that. That's how it should work. People need to understand what it is. It has nothing to do, well, we'll put it like this. It's strictly confidential in that, confidential, that's not the word I was using. It's strictly, see, what I'm trying not to do is have to read it, but I've just figured out I'm just going to have to sit here and go through it and read you the argument that was made and what was decided and let you make up your own mind. It's important that you understand why they made the decision, the case law they used to make the decision, and why it makes sense. What we always have to remember is that this does not just affect Black students. It affects Hispanic students, and Asian students are the ones that sued an organization representing them. It affects white students, and it affects women. And that's what we have to be cognizant of. Basically, it talked about the factors that you use to make a decision for admissions. And that in one of those categories, and I think there were 5 or 6 categories they used in Harvard, they actually had under one of those categories, one of the factors was race. The Supreme Court said you can't do that. But there's a reason why they said you can't do that. They would have been able to do it had they had a very particular argument that they could support, and they couldn't. Like they were literally asked, well, what about that? How do you do this? And they were like, I don't know. We don't know. And that was the case, and that's why they lost. And they actually wrote in the syllabus, this is why you lost. Like, this is why it doesn't work. So after the break, I'm going to go through, not line by line, but section by section so that you understand the question that was presented, whether admission systems used by Harvard College and University of North Carolina are lawful under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. That is what the argument was. (833-212-1017) is the number. And if you don't miss anything, the one thing you need to do with this case is to follow the money.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, this is the last week to sign up for our Black-owned business give back. If you want to win $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising on 1017 The Truth for 3 months, go to blackbusinessgiveback.com right now. Again, that is free advertisement for your business to market itself, valued at $6,000. Don't miss out on this great opportunity. Go to blackbusinessgiveback.com right now to sign up today. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, Truth fans, it's Dee Kemp, Vice President of Programs for Axe Housing. I am so excited to give you some information about how we can help you and your family reach the dream of owning your own home. At Axe Housing, we know you may be struggling to buy your own home due to financial strain, or maybe you don't even know how to get started on the path to home ownership. This is where Axe Housing can help. We will provide you with your own home buying coaching team who will help you with the entire home buying process from start to finish. That includes the home search, the loan process, and the big closing day on your dream home. Why rent when you can own? Here at Axe Housing, we help prepare families for successful home ownership. Stop paying rent and start building wealth. Reach out to our Axe Housing team today because we believe in you and we know home ownership can be within your reach. Visit us today at axhousing.org to get started. That's ACTShousing.org.
On the Rocks Premium Cocktails offer modern twists on the classic cocktails. Developed by award-winning mixologists, the On the Rocks cocktails combine premium spirits and natural ingredients. Wherever you are, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails give you the convenience of bar-quality cocktails created with brands that you know and trust, like the Effin Cosmopolitan and Hornitos Margarita. Pour over ice and enjoy. Please drink responsibly. On the Rocks ready-to-serve cocktails, 20 to 35% alcohol by volume.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City of Milwaukee is recruiting for its 14th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit City